over at car shows. Oh my God, when I went to high school, this was my first car. And I mean, that's the constant, answers that you get all the time when you go to car shows. But again, this is a beautiful car.
It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, do people come to you to have you restore the cars for them?
No, we do not do any restoration. All the cars that you see here today and the other 70-something cars, they're all like this. We do not cater basically to the people that are just starting out in hot rods. Our price range starts at about, to us, $35,000 is an inexpensive hot rod, and then we go up to $1 million car. But it doesn't make any difference who you are or how well you are or anything. The cost is the same to everybody. The only way you could keep your costs down is if you did all the work yourself. But you can't, not everybody's a painter, not everybody's an upholster. So those are two things that usually, they farm out. It's like the body work. A lot of people can't do body work. But putting the car together, and what they do is they put the car together, and then once they get it together, they send it to the paint shop, and the paint shop usually takes it back apart, paints the pieces, puts it back together, and then delivers it back to the owner. The average set of wheels and tires for one of these cars, if you buy a name brand wheel and tire, you're probably looking at $2,500 to $5,000. It depends on who makes the wheel. Upholstery is the same way. The upholstery in this car here, for instance, was right at $30,000. Okay.
It's all gorgeous, one of a kind, handwork done.
Right.
And it takes time.
Yeah, it takes usually about if you have somebody billing it day in and day out, you can have a car built in probably a year to year and a half.
Wow.
It takes that long. Oh yeah, because it isn't so much the work, it's waiting for pieces, and of course,
that's true.
A lot of these cars, the parts are not available, so you got to go hunt for some of them.
Or are some of them handmade, or are they created just?
Some of them have to be handmade, but like for instance, a lot of the moldings here and stuff like this, there is an aftermarket for them, but a lot of guys want to stick to the original. You can send all this out and have it, like if it's got dents, they'll take the dents out, they grind it down, and then they polish it out, and it'll look like brand new again. It's very, very expensive, but if you want to keep the originality of the product, that's the way you do it.
Doesn't, by having the original parts, doesn't it keep its value?
Yes.
Better?
In a lot of cases it does, but in some cases it doesn't. Like a lot of people will take all this off.
Right.
And they like it smooth. Well, they'll sell those parts to somebody, or they go to the swap meet and sell them, and, they get a pretty good price for them. I would venture to say just those 3-piece or 4-piece here, probably new probably cost, I would say probably $50–60. Today, they'd probably get around $400 for those parts. So
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily. Now, Charlie, do you have any favorites? I mean, as far as paints, waxes, chrome cleaners, anything like that?
As far as color, yes. Red's my favorite color.
Yeah.
And if you go to my collection, you'll see that the majority of my cars are red.
Yeah.
And it's like people will say to me, boy, if you got a red car, Charlie will like it. Well, it's true. It's true to a certain extent, but I mean, the car's got to be there. It's just like I just bought a real nice 36 Ford. It's blue, but it's a very rare car. So, I mean, it is what it is, and you have to deal with what you got,
Well, these are absolutely gorgeous car, and anybody that wants an American classic, I mean, these are stunning. They look like they should be in an auto show.
Well, we do. I mean, we have a brand new facility there in Pomona.
Yeah.
And we display, we have a showroom. And then we have the garages. So when you walk along, every car is backed into the garage. and we got nice, paintings on the walls, and we don't do any repairs there at all. It's spotless. It's got the epoxy floor, so it shows the cars very well. We're only open from 9 to 5 every day, and we're closed on Saturdays and Sundays because we're at car shows displaying the
Of
automobiles
course.
and passing out flyers and stuff like that.
Do you have pictures of the cars on a website?
Yes.
Okay.
Our website is amclassiccars.com.
Well, Charlie, they're absolutely gorgeous, and anybody that loves cars like this, I mean, you
Well, you're
can
looking
just
at
love
one.
and stare at them. I mean, look and stare and just enjoy them. Now,
Well,
I'm just curious, do you notice a difference in the market here in the United States versus other countries?
yeah, it's some, of course, a lot of the different foreign countries.
Because I've heard Japan was really into the American hot rods.
Well, but the way the economy is right now, it's slow
Yeah.
everywhere. But at one time, there was a lot of cars. Well, there's a lot of cars going to Europe, and there's a lot of cars going to Switzerland and New Zealand. We get calls all the time, and we do ship some cars overseas. But it's usually a particular car that somebody there is looking for, and a broker will call and say, hey, you got that car on your website, how is it? And, in this industry, like I tell people, let's be realistic. How would you rate your car on a 1 to 10? 10 being best. Of course, everybody wants to tell you they're 10. There's more to a hot rod than just the looks and the paint.
Oh, yeah.
It's the mechanics, how well it fits. You can look down the sides, and like this car here, there isn't a wave. All the metal work was done better than it was when it was new, actually. So there's that. Like we've bought some cars on the internet, and when you get them, they're not what they
Right.
were supposed to be. So we've quit that, and when somebody's interested in a car, we'll send them as many pictures. And like I say, I appraise cars, for people, and I'm not saying I know everything, but I think I know quite a bit about this industry.
Oh, Charlie. Any advice for new collectors?
Well, again, there's really no advice other than, just know what you're getting into. Obviously pick the car that you like, because not everybody's going to have 75 or 80 cars like me. Jay Leno's probably got that many, and there's a lot of collectors around the world that's got a lot of cars, and like a lot of guys like the old Bentleys and the Mercedes and stuff like that. I don't have any of that because that isn't something that I care for.
They're not American classics.
Yep, and they got to be an American car, or I don't own it. So.
Perfectly understandable. Well, Charlie, thank you very, very much.
Quite welcome.
And we'll be looking forward to seeing updates on your website and seeing what happens at the auction.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Charlie.
You.